friends, I'm Miss Vee, and welcome to the very first episode of Reading with Miss Vee. I'm so excited to have you here with me. This is where books and stories come alive and imaginations take flight. Today, we're kicking things off with this beautiful book that's full of inspiration, imagination, and strength. It's called The Year We Learned to Fly by Jacqueline Woodson and is illustrated by Rafael López. This story is all about using our minds and our hearts to lift us up even when we feel a little heavy. And I know you're going to love it. So grab your favorite blankie and your favorite snacks and join me and let's read. The Year We Learned to Fly by Jacqueline Woodson, illustrated by Rafael López. That was the year we learned to fly. That was the spring when the rain seemed like it would never stop and the thunder boomed so hard we weren't allowed to go outside. Use those beautiful and brilliant minds of yours, my grandmother said. Lift your arms, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and believe in a thing. Somebody somewhere at some point was just as bored as you are now. So my brother and I closed our eyes, and for a few minutes that first day, we weren't stuck in our apartment anymore. We were flying over the city we'd known our whole lives, but it was suddenly different, exploding with every kind of flower we ever dreamed of growing. That was the summer we learned to fly, when my brother and I couldn't stop fussing with each other over whose turn it was to wash the windows, to feed the dog, to clean the kitchen. We fought and frowned and made silent promises to never speak to each other ever again. My grandmother said, lift your arms, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and stop being so mean about everything. Somebody somewhere at some point was just as mad as you are now. So we did. And as the soft wind took us out over the city and past the windows of kids who hadn't yet learned to fly, my brother and I reached for each other's hand, flying and diving and laughing, and leaving all of our mad far behind us. That was the autumn our rooms felt too big and lonely with only us in them and the darkness coming on so fast. But while we hugged ourselves against the too quiet of it all, we remembered that we didn't have to be stuck anywhere anymore. My grandmother had learned to fly from the people who came before. They were aunts and uncles and cousins who were brought here on huge ships, their wrists and ankles cuffed in iron. But, my grandmother said, nobody can ever cuff your beautiful and brilliant minds. So our people learned to fly, she said. They dreamed a thing and made it happen, closed their eyes and flew away home. Lift your arms, my grandmother said. Close your eyes and remember somebody somewhere at some point had to figure out they could fly. That was the winter we moved away from the building and the block and the friends we'd always known. To a street where kids looked at us funny and didn't even answer when we asked them if they wanted to play. It's okay, I said to my brother. Somebody somewhere at some point had to figure out they were ready for a new thing coming their way. So like the people who came before us, we lifted our arms even higher, closed our eyes even tighter, breathed in even deeper, and flew the way we always known how to, free as the aunties and uncles and cousins who'd come before us, free as our own beautiful and brilliant minds. For a long time, kids on the ground watched us. Then one by one, they lifted their arms. One by one, they too learned to fly. Wow, what a beautiful story. I hope you enjoyed reading The Year We Learned to Fly as much as I did. Thank you so much for joining me on my very first story time here on Reading with Miss Vee. I'm so glad you're a part of this journey. and I can't wait to share more wonderful books with you. So if you want to stay in the loop, make sure you don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also leave a comment telling me where your imagination takes you when you close your eyes and dream. Until next time, keep smiling, keep learning, and always keep reading. Bye, friends.